Alright, so this video was requested by Carlos. He's been asking for me to drop this video for like about maybe a month and a half, and I've kind of been like pushing it back, pushing it back, pushing it back. Like when he first brought it up, I added it to my list of future videos. So this is definitely a video that was eventually going to come out, but I decided to finally release it. He asked me to drop it last night. He's like, "Hey, can you drop that video?" I've been asking for it for like a month now. And I was like, you know what? Sure. And I'm talking about the top 5 Texans games that I am looking forward to the most. And keep in mind, this is my personal opinion. You guys can have a completely different set of games. Maybe you're looking forward to beating the Bengals again in week 16 for fun because, we own the Bengals. Or maybe you're looking forward to beating Chicago yet again and going, 5-0 all time versus Chicago. I don't know, like I said, we can all have different games you're looking forward to. So with that being said, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and comment down below the 5 games you are looking forward to the most this upcoming season, if there even is an upcoming season because of this little, corona. So, yeah, anyways, I'm going to start off with some honorable mentions, how I usually do. And I'm going to start off with Colts games. Now, Colts games, usually they're close games, and I hate the Colts. Like, Texans, Colts is like the rivalry, I guess. Well, for the majority of this rivalry, I guess you could say, if you could even call it that. The Colts have kind of owned us, but as of late, tides have kind of turned in our favor. Now that we have Deshaun, they don't have a quarterback, but still, those Colts games are very entertaining. Now, the reason why they don't make the list is because the Texans and Colts are gonna split. Why? For whatever reason, the schedule makers have the Texans and Colts playing twice in a span of 3 weeks. Whenever that happens, there's hardly ever a situation where one team sweeps the other. You already played, so usually in that situation, the team splits, so the Texans and the Colts will split next season. So that's why this doesn't make my list. Now, the other game I had as an honorable mention is the Week 4 game against Minnesota. Now, the reason why I put this one on my honorable mentions is because the Texans have yet to beat Minnesota. I believe the only teams that Texans haven't beat yet are Minnesota and Philadelphia. After they beat those teams, they would have beat every team in the NFL at least once. There might be another one out there, but I'm not too sure. But I do know that those two teams, the Texans have never beat. And here they are with a chance to beat Minnesota. So that's why this one's in my honorable mentions. The reason why it's not in my top 5, because I think the other 5 games, I think I'm looking forward to those more. Because at the end of the day, Minnesota, they're in the NFC, so that game is really not that important as opposed to other games. And honestly, Kirk Cousins, do you really want to watch Kirk Cousins play? Nah. Anyways, let's get on to the actual top 5 games that I am looking forward to the most this upcoming season. And at number 5, and I feel like a lot of people are going to disagree with me, they're going to have this one way higher, but I have Ravens at Texans week 2 at number 5. And I think this one's going to be a pretty good game. I know a lot of Ravens fans are like, we blew y'all out last time, so we're going to blow you out again. No, Lamar Jackson is going to get figured out here pretty soon, and yeah, I just don't think Lamar Jackson is going to be as good as he was last year this upcoming season, because if you guys don't know, and a lot of you guys wanted us to get their offensive coordinator, Greg Roman, but here's the thing with Greg Roman. They say Greg Roman is the Wade Phillips of offense. And if you guys don't know what this means is year 1 their offense slash defense is great. Year 2, it takes a step back. In year 3, it completely falls off. I'm being serious. Look at his offenses wherever he's been. Look at Wade Phillips' defenses wherever he's been. It's always been the same thing. So I do think Lamar Jackson isn't going to be as electric this upcoming season. I feel like teams are going to start playing him for who he is now. Kind of how the Titans did, make him throw deep, make him throw outside the numbers, keep him contained. And I feel like he's not going to be as exciting and electric to watch, even though personally I prefer gunslinging quarterbacks, like a Jameis Winston, the guy who just throws it around the yard, doesn't care. I prefer that than the guy who just runs around. That's not really fun for me to watch personally. But yeah, to each their own. Now, moving on to my 4th game I'm looking forward to the most. And, the only reason this one's on my list is because I get to wake up in the morning on Thanksgiving and watch the Texans take on the Lions. Now, look, my birthday is November 23rd, around Thanksgiving. So during Thanksgiving, they always celebrate my birthday. So, I get to eat a bunch of food because I'm a tubby. And I get nice gifts from my beautiful family. And I get to drink beverages such as Capri Suns. Definitely not alcoholic beverages because those are not good. And, I get to watch football. And this year it happens that I get to watch my Texans take on the Detroit Lions for the 2nd time, because the Texans have played the Lions before on Thanksgiving. If you guys recall, Justin Forsett cheated, and hopefully this time, we get a win again. I get a happy birthday present from the Texans. I get something nice for my birthday. I get some nice turkey, even though turkey's a little bit overrated. I get to eat my pumpkin pie, and yeah, hopefully I get to enjoy a Texans win, and, maybe Cullen Gillespie or someone like Eric Murray or Charlie Heck find a way to cheat this game and get us a win. Anyways, moving on. At number 3, I have Texans at Tennessee, Week 6. Now, the reason why I put this game on here is because if you've been keeping up with the national media or just fans on Twitter, everyone's saying Tennessee is the class of the AFC South. Now, some people are saying the Colts, but I feel like majority of people are saying Tennessee. They're like, oh yeah, Tennessee's winning, Tennessee this, Tennessee wins a championship game, they're going to be a 12-4 team next year, blah, 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 all that BS. So, Week 6, the Texans travel to Tennessee to take on the Titans for the first time. The reason why I'm looking forward to this game a lot is because the Texans are going to go over there and they're going to smack around the Tennessee Titans how they usually do. The Titans haven't won the division in like 13 years. They've only been to the playoffs like twice, like in the last 13 years probably. So yeah, Texans own these guys. The only time the Titans have beaten the Texans over the past decade is when the Texans are resting starters or when they're extremely hurt. Look it up. I am being dead serious. Tennessee stands no chance against Houston, and I cannot wait for the Texans to go over there, Tennessee, smack them around, and remind everyone in national media who actually owns this division. Now, at game number 2, I'm looking forward to the most. This one was honestly just an afterthought. Like, I didn't really think much of this game until the Patriots signed Cam Newton. Like, before that, I was like, oh, Jared Stidham, garbage player. Brian Hoyer, garbage player. Easy win. But then they went out and signed Cam Newton. Now, look, I understand a lot of people seem to believe Cam Newton's washed. Cam Newton's ugly. Cam Newton dresses weird. But personally, I don't think he's washed. I think he's, a decent looking individual, and I think he dresses quite nicely. He's a fashionable man. He cares about his fashion. I don't care, But I think Cam Newton to the Patriots is a very good signing, and, if you compare him to Brady, they're like completely different. Now, obviously, I'm not saying the Patriots are going to run Cam Newton into the ground, because obviously Cam Newton is a he's had an injury history, so it wouldn't be smart. And I think the Patriots realize that. But it adds a whole different dynamic to their offense. They finally have a running quarterback, or not a running quarterback. Lamar Jackson is a running quarterback. Cam Newton is a quarterback who can run, like Russell Wilson, like Patrick Mahomes, like Deshaun Watson. Quarterbacks who can run. There's a difference. Now, Cam Newton is a quarterback who can run. That adds a different element to their offense that they've never had before, because obviously Brady ran like an 8.4 40 time. Dude, slow. Now they can do read options, they can do all these things, and it's going to keep defenses guessing. Is Cam going to keep the ball? They're going to hand it off. And then obviously Cam Newton has a stronger arm than Brady did at that point. Brady's kind of on the decline. I think Newton is still good. I'm not saying Newton's going to last like 40 more years in New England, how Brady did, but I think he can be there 5 to 8 years, and the Patriots can win like 1 or 2 more Super Bowls with Cam Newton, because I think Cam Newton is a very capable quarterback, and I'm looking forward to this game because the Texans, they're 0-2 versus Cam Newton, and historically they haven't done well against New England, even though they beat the Patriots last year. And not only that, Deshaun Watson loves him some Cam Newton. Like, Cam Newton's one of those guys he looks up to. So it would be like Watson going up against one of his heroes finally, and hopefully Deshaun gets the win. And at number 1, I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna have this game at number 1, and I have it at number 1, and rightfully so. Week 1 versus the Chiefs. Revenge. 24-0. People clowning Deshaun Watson, calling him a choker, even though it was the defense. But yeah, the guys are fired up. Justin Reed has said it. Lonnie Johnson has said it. Deshaun Watson has said it. Titus Howard has said it. And we all know John Weeks is ready for this. It's prime time. Opening game of the season. And you already know what the commentators are going to be saying. Texans blew 24-0 lead. Haha. Texans suck. Texans trade DeAndre Hopkins for potato chip. Like, they're going to be talking about that all game long. Like, take a shot every time they mention DeAndre Hopkins trade or 24-0. You'll be drunk by the end of the first quarter. You'll be drunk. You'll be passed out. You're going to miss the game. You're going to miss the Texans taking on the Chiefs and stomping them at their house on their ring night. Because that's what's going to happen. I don't care about no 5'9" glorified cheerleader safety. He ain't no top 10. I don't want to hear about that. Jay Reed better than that. Little Chihuahua, or whatever he is. Our O-line's better. We got some nice receivers, better receivers this time around. Titus Howard's going to be playing. We got a more diverse group of running backs that can actually be receiving threats, unlike Carlos Hyde. And yeah, they'll be prepared. Texans will go in there, and they're going to beat the Chiefs, and they're going to silence the critics. This is why I am looking forward to this game the most. Like, this whole Texans negativity thing, it's annoying. Look, I understand the D-Hop trade was horrible, but one wide receiver that had 1,100 yards last year and like 7 touchdowns, he does not add 6 wins. He does not. It's not the way football works. We have Brandon Cooks. We have Kenny Stills, Will Fuller, Randall Cobb, Kiki QT, Darren Fells, Jordan Thomas, Jordan Akins, Kahali Waring, David Johnson, Duke Johnson, a good offensive line, and most importantly, Deshaun motherfucking Watson. This is a double-digit win team easily. So I don't want to hear, if D-Hop gone, this team win 2 games. I don't want to hear that. And the Texans will go over there to KC in week 1. And they're gonna shut all that down. And I'm just waiting for it, because I am tired of constantly hearing, oh, it doesn't matter, DeAndre Hopkins gone, bad season. Like, I'm tired of that, man. I'm tired of hearing the same thing every single day when I hop on Twitter, when I look at my comment section, when I look at someone else's comment section. Like, it's annoying, and I'm looking forward to week 1. That's all I'm going to say on that. Anyways, like I said at the start of the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.